YouTube. As you can see, we have some boxes here, 4 boxes to be exact. Was expecting 5, the other package isn't here yet. So we're going to bust these open, show you what I got this week, and we'll get these guys into some tanks. I got some pretty cool stuff. Go with this one first. A couple of these are from Aquabid. One of them is from a Facebook auction site. Should be my plants that I won from a Facebook auction. Dig right into this guy. Maybe. There we go. So this is a bundle of one of my favorite plants of all time, and that is Blixa japonica. I got 12 plants here, and they're all looking really healthy. So, all nice big stems, nice luscious plants. Those are going to go in one of the shrimp tanks, probably with koi guppies. I'm going to clear out some of the other lower light plants, get these guys in there, because I do have a couple of these in there. They're very small, but they do grow. They do grow all right in there. So we're going to test some more out in there and see how they do. And then we'll go on to another box. I'm just going to drop those in there. Set that aside. Get this guy open. This is a little different. Something I've never done before, but I did it because one of the boxes kind of requires this. I wanted to challenge myself to new things in the fish hobby. So this is a step towards that. So looks like a bag of baby puke. But if you can see on there, I've got a colony of water worms. So just some live food there. I haven't done any live foods besides baby brine shrimp before. So I figured we'd get some water worms. I only paid like, I don't know, $5-6 on Aquabid for these, shipped. So it's a pretty good source of live food, and they're really small. And they stay in the water column a lot longer than some of the other live worms. So we'll get into the boxes here. This one was off of Aquabid, which if you haven't checked out Aquabid, if you're in the fish hobby, if you're watching this video, you really should be checking out Aquabid. I'm on there every single day, looking for good deals, stuff I haven't seen before, stuff like that. It's just an auction site, and I know there's a new auction site out, but Aquabid, I mean, it's the old school way, I guess. Wow, this is like a legit little styrofoam box for this. So here's the next package. And in here we should have at least 12 orange Sakura shrimp. So just a orange variant of cherry shrimp. I haven't had the oranges before. Now with all the tank space, I wanted to get some more shrimp in before it gets too cold to ship outside. So that's kind of why I'm ordering a few odds and ends every week. to get the fish room full and get the projects in I want before winter comes, because I definitely don't want to be trying to receive fish in the dead of winter. It's never a good idea. So. Interesting. He used a balloon as part of the packaging. Now these fish here, I've really wanted for some time. I saw them on Simply Betta's channel, and they are absolutely gorgeous little fish. But a big thing with these guys is they mostly only eat live foods. So if you can see, the little guy right there, that looks like the male. And the female is in here. So this is a native sunfish. It is the, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I'll just put that at the bottom of the screen there for you guys. But those guys are so small, you can't really get them on a pellet food or anything like that. Mostly just live foods, hence where the Walter worms come into play. So let's get this up into some tanks and we will get you updated. We'll take a spin around the full fish room like usual. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright guys, let's get you updated on some of these tanks with all the new things that we just unboxed. First tank here is the koi guppy tank with the red lilies. As you can see, we put the Blixa japonica in here. I got 10 plants, won those off of Facebook, off of the auction group. Just needed a change in this tank. It's been set up for the same for about a year. That moss was getting pretty large. You can see it's kind of tucked into the right side now. We do have some string hair algae on the bottom right. I started dosing hydrogen peroxide yesterday along with some Flourish XL. See if we can get that knocked out. But yeah, this is one of my favorite plants, and it just needs a real good nutrient-rich soil, which this fluval stratum is pretty decent for growing plants in. So with the upgraded lighting coming, I figured we'd give it a shot, especially I got a good deal on it. But as you can see in there, we do have some koi guppy fry, so that is exciting as well. Once I get a couple grown up again to juveniles, I'm probably going to switch them to a different tank and just have a pair or a trio in a second tank to kind of try to keep the line going, and just try and test some different factors with these guys to get them to breed the best. And also, if something happens to one of the tanks, I don't want to lose any of these guys because these are my most prized possession. These are my favorite fish of all time, so I'm pretty proud of these guys. As you can see, I got some really big females in there, but we're just going to roll with this tank, see if we can't get some of this Blixa to kind of cover in, and the shrimp seem to be loving it. So let's get you guys to the next tank. Next up is the 20 long, and this is where we put the orange Sakura shrimp. They're doing pretty well. They're still kind of pale. They really haven't colored up, but they are pretty young. If you look right there, there's a little guy right there. So as you can see, they're still kind of pale. They're definitely orange Sakuras though, so that's good. We will breed those guys and get them rolling. If you can't tell, we actually put those are the German whites. They look kind of yellow. Got a lot of tannins in this tank. But we got the German whites in this tank with the Russian red laces. And as you can see, we are swamped with fry here. And it's actually kind of interesting. These guys breed 100% true, but we are getting blonde and the gray fry, so that's pretty interesting. But that young male right in the front there, this guy right here, is actually bred and raised by me, and he is absolutely gorgeous. So there's the original male, and you can't really tell in the video, but he has a very yellow tail, and the male that we have raised is super white, matching the female. So we're going to probably pull that male, let him live the rest of his life in another tank, just so we can have that pure white. Try to get rid of any yellow. But these fish are absolutely gorgeous. We're going to have to do some water changes in this tank and try to get some of the tannins out so you can really appreciate these guys' colors. But the plants are doing good. Got the dwarf sage there and the ocelot sword, which is one of my favorite sword plants. If you can see there, my calico longfin bristlenose is starting to get some size, and it's looking like it might be female, which I'm hoping so. And I also have a littler one right there. So that is a project in the making. Hopefully it is female. Give her a couple more months, or he a couple more months. And if he doesn't start developing any bristles, I might move them to the adult calico tank, just to see if possibly that fish is of age to produce some eggs. If she does, it'd be a very small batch, but to get some longfin fry and growing out would be absolutely incredible. And then we of course will wait for that smaller guy there on the left to get the size, and then if that turns to be male, of course they'll go in with each other. But they're absolutely gorgeous fish. This is turning into one of my favorite tanks, with the German white tuxedos and the calico longfins in there. We also got the other, we have an adult male albino and a adult green dragon bristlenose, and they breed periodically. They're both very young as well, so they produce very small clutches of fry. But just wanted to give a short update on those shrimp, and then a little rundown of the changes in the tank. And let's get to the last part of the unboxing, which is those really cool US native fish that we unboxed. So let's check them out. And last but not least, we have the Pygmy Sunfish, the EVERGLADI, and there is the young, what I believe to be male right there. But we set up a little, this is an 8-gallon Aquarium nano tank. Set it up just for these guys. So we got the pair in here. The other one usually hides in the back there. But these guys are really small, and they do have a little bit of growing to go before they start breeding. But they are eating these Walter worms here. We've got the colony going pretty well. So it's pretty cool to feed those guys live. Haven't got a chance to do that before, but that's pretty cool. So there's an update on those guys, and we have some more unboxings coming this week, so we will see you soon.